Thanks. Music?
I don't think it's streaming yet.
Oh, it is. It's live. I'm gonna put some music in the background.
All right, so we can start. So welcome everyone to the closing. Thank you for joining us on this 3-day event here, sharing with you the last insights of this year and what's coming or trending for the next year. Today we have Bernardo here. He's the CEO of The Bridge, and he's here to tell us a bit about what's happening overall, to give this closing to you guys, and at the same time to tell us and share with us what it's coming for The Bridge in terms of opportunities for next year. So Bernardo, very welcome. Thank you for sharing with us these minutes that I know that your agenda is normally full. So welcome.
My pleasure. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks for having me today as well. And congratulations for the team for organizing this fantastic event. I have been listening to the talks, and it's great to see everyone relaxed and really doing something different from the usual, right? I think is one of the great therapies that people perhaps are not so much aware about, which is talking on. Obviously, you might get some nervous sometimes, but once it gets started, then it's cool and it's relaxed. So for me, it's always a pleasure to do the webinars for our audience. All right.
Awesome, Bernardo, thank you. So to start, I would like to just like as wrapping up like what we talk in this whole event, to talk about like some specific points that you can give us, especially for the expertise leading this company that has a very close relationship, you know, with talent worldwide. But let's start with the company side. Let's start with the company and how is this going to be reshaped, all this ecosystem? And what are the things that, or the benefits that will be like valued or employees will start valuing or hoping to receive from their companies?
Sure. Yes. Basically, from the data that we've been seeing across the year, right? And the year is quite long. Things changed quite often. I think these days is worth doing even a quarterly salary survey, right? Because the very old style 2021 salary survey by the companies, old recruitment companies, that doesn't work anymore. Like the salaries are changing too fast. The expectations are changing fast as well with the salaries and the demand. But look, we've been seeing a continued demand for cybersecurity, infrastructure, also product development, big data and analytics. Those highly technical roles are really at the top of the search right now. And we see that following those, you look at cloud, RPA, and then finally experience design. So when we look at the top 10, really, we are covering securities, development, security, web development, big data, cloud, and design, right? And then at the bottom, you see the emerging technologies, which are really growing extremely fast, which is artificial intelligence and IoT, right? So now we have 5G coming, right, for Brazil, Chile, Latin America. And with 5G, there is a huge demand for IoT devices, right? There's a huge demand for integrating. So we're going to need a lot of integrators, right? As you know, I was reading the biography of Michael Dell, the amazing founder of Dell Computers, and he was talking about all of this revolution. First, the cloud, obviously, with the servers that are required for the cloud. But he also mentioned what's becoming the proximity computing, right? The edge computing. So the edge computing is the computing that enables the connection of the physical devices with the virtual devices, right? And that's going to become really, really strong next year when it comes to 5G, yeah, when 5G arrives. So a lot of people already buying their 5G phones, the antennas are getting installed, the licitations, right, las licitaciones, are starting to come with the results, right? Even Elon Musk is here with us already in Chile, making Starlink satellite connections. So it's coming. So we're going to need these sort of professionals that can actually do this work, right? Otherwise, Elon Musk is going to be angry. We don't want to make that guy angry. So we have a lot of demand for really cool new skills. It's not just web development, UX, and the typical roles that we've seen in the last 5 years since we launched the bridge, but we're looking into the future, right? And then when you look at the sort of benefits that people are looking for, you also see that there is you're never going to lose the Maslow pyramid, right? You need to go back to the Maslow pyramid and understand that really health, right, and subsistence is the basic thing. So most people, at least in Chile, Latin, that we spoke with, are looking a good health plan if they're working obviously as a full-time contract. If they're contractors, then they might be looking for the extra salary so that they can buy their own health plan, right? But health comes first, and then they're looking also for economic support for studies and training. They're looking for days off, special awards and special gifts, but mainly they're looking for a challenge in their career. They want to work for companies that have a purpose, companies that enable them to challenge themselves, right? But more than that, and the data that came out that was really interesting for me at least, was that the younger employees, I'm talking here 22 to 36 years old, they are looking for an opportunity to be entrepreneurs, whether they are going to be entrepreneurs inside the company or they're going to be able to do, let's say, a side hustle. And the companies, especially companies that are more mature and in more mature countries, they are enabling and they are actually encouraging for entrepreneurship, which is kind of weird, right? Because at least here in LATAM, it's like, what? This guy is working for me, but he's got like a little side business. What is that? I don't want to do that. But in other countries, in mature countries, a lot of the time they're actually being encouraged for that, right? Of course, this also happened in Latin, but in less cases. In more cases, we found that in Europe, US, etc., they are encouraging people to actually have more than a hobby, but to actually have a side hustle, something that has an impact, something that makes them happy, something that refreshes them, that helps them learn new skills. So it's actually quite valuable for your employees to have some sort of side venture, right? And who knows, that might even benefit the company in the future, right? Of course, there are particular cases, you don't want them working on something that competes directly with you, but anything else would be really interesting for them, for the company, and they're looking for that, especially the youngest ones. So interesting thing that we realized on this latest report.
And going back to the most demand, let's say, professionals on the next years, you mentioned about cybersecurity, you mentioned about cloud. And if I look at the pool of talent available at the moment, I see that these are really hard profiles to find because we don't have a lot. They are like actually new topics in the market. So we will have a lot of young people probably, or junior people going ahead. So what would you recommend, for example, on how to address these things to companies, how to retain more talent in these difficult fields, and at the same time, how to face this shortage? Because if we look at the numbers, we know that at the moment we have three times less professionals available than what actually the demand is asking for?
So basically, in terms of the lack of talent in the market, Melissa, this is obviously a given. We know our universities are pumping out less graduates than the market requires every year. Probably we are around on 20 to 30% of the actual requirement. And of course, we have a huge explosion growth of demand for professionals. So this more than just initiative that can be resolved solely by the private sector, by companies like ourselves. This needs to be faced also at a government level, right? We need to be able to generate the environment and enable the universities, the training centers, the boot camps, the startups, the edtechs, so that our production capacity is greater, right? If Brazil was running out of corn and wheat, I'm sure there would be currently a massive revolution in terms of the government, right? Where you were finding out ways to get more corn and wheat to be planted. But for tech professionals, they're not so bothered at the moment, right? However, we as a private sector also have been taking steps forward to change this scenario, right? So you have great initiatives by large companies like big techs, like Mercado Libre, Google, Microsoft. We have Magalu in Brazil with Magazine Luiza. We have amazing also internship programs, iFood, and so many others, which is great, right? But more than that, I think there needs to be a consistent strategy also to deal with the ONGs, with the NGOs, right? With the companies that like Laboratoria, and I was just speaking with them a minute ago about how we can really bring more talent to the market, yes? And besides that, you have the other side of the coin, which is companies themselves. You realize that companies that have achieved a certain level of maturity, like Google, like large techs, etc., but others not so big as well, they are actually able to absorb talent that are more junior because they have a structured training program, right? And they are able to actually take people through the journey from a certain level up into the level where they can contribute, right? So the issue that I found is that a lot of organizations are really in a very immature level when it comes to training and development, basically. So training and development, when it comes to technology skills, is really lagging behind in companies, right? Even companies that are large, they're medium-sized and they're large companies, but they still lagging, right? Because it's understandable if a startup doesn't have a full-scale internship program implemented, of course, they are still a startup, right? But there are so many large companies that we speak with, and they're looking for talent, and they say, I just want senior people. The market is terrible. There's nobody in the market. It's impossible to find people. I'm sorry, it's not impossible to find people. There are people, but they are a little bit more junior, or they are medium more junior, right? They're not all complete junior. They have junior, they have a little bit more experience, and not by years, but by trade itself, right? So if the large companies or the medium companies at least don't create any sort of training program and development, they are never going to be able to compete, because now, I'm sorry, we have the Americans. The Americans are here. The Canadians are here. The British are here. The Japanese and the Chinese are here. All of them have deep pockets. They have a lot of money. And if in Latin America, us as companies, medium-sized companies like the Bridge and the larger ones as well, we don't train our people, we're never going to be able to compete with them, because they pay in dollars, they pay in pounds, and they pay in euros. Unless we're going to be happy with the local talent that doesn't speak English, and that actually impacts in the seniority of those people. In most cases, people that don't speak English are the people that are not so senior, okay? But of course, there are also senior people that don't speak English, but there are less of them. So you are losing ground for them, right? It's already hard. So for the local people that don't speak English, which is what you are left with, okay, because the ones that speak English, they're going to start working for companies abroad. The ones that don't speak English, let's say you go after them. You're all fighting for the same people, for the senior people, either way, right? So it's a very, very slim cut of the market, a slice of the market. The only reason that you're gonna get to a bigger slice of the market, right, and fight the inflation of costs that we have now, it's if we train them. You have to train them. You have to hire them a little bit more junior. You have to be able to be a bit more flexible with your recruitment process. Yeah, I was joking with a client today. She said, you know, sometimes with the bridge, either you're a God that's going to save us and bring us the amazing talent that we've been looking for, or you're the devil and you're worthless and you didn't bring me the talent that I need and you're absolutely useless, terrible company. And I said, that's the perception, right? Our clients either think that we are amazing and magical, or they think that we are absolutely terrible. And they have the same opinion about all of the consultancies and the talent companies, right? They're either amazing or they're terrible. And then the talent companies like to sell themselves as the magic silver bullet, right? That they can just fix everything and I'll fix your talent issues. Okay, sometimes they can fix your talent issues, but they can't continually do it, right? If you go against the realities, physical reality and numbers, right? So if we look at the numbers, we need to be more flexible and we need to take steps into the direction so that we can change the market and we can help ourselves, right, in the market, because it's a very tough market.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned is really important. It's that we don't have enough people and we can always look for senior professionals, because no matter who is performing the recruitment, we will not find there are not people available anymore. And another thing that I really like that you mentioned is about identifying junior people with skills. But I think it's also the ability of the company to identify high potentials in the market, because these are people that you identify at the very beginning, and you can actually invest your time and training in like to train them the way you want them to perform in your company. So this learning curve, it's a bit longer, but I think it's more impactful and efficient for companies as well. Well, Bernardo, thank you so much for those thoughts. The last question, not last question, but the last thing I would like you to do is like to share a bit of what's coming for the bridge next year. How are we gonna grow? Where are the new places that we're taking over, or we're gonna be helping companies and building more bridges? So
thank you, Melissa. Thank you. We have a few lines of work streams in our strategic planning for next year. And we have some pillars that really respond to the values and where we are coming from, right? So if I go through the values, where we are a company that is guided by honesty, adaptability, collaboration, responsibility, and respect. Our mission is to build bridges between top talent and international opportunities. We want to change the future of people with our global opportunities and local opportunities also. So our vision is to become the largest talent network in the world. The bridge has often operated similarly to a consultancy or an outsourcing or a recruitment company. Some people still think that we are only just a recruitment company. And I always remind them, we do recruitment, we also do nearshoring and outsourcing, allowing companies to hire talents all around the world through the bridge. But more than that, we also have been now going through a process which has been absolutely incredible, and I'm sure everyone involved is enjoying it, although it's not easy, but it has been really enlightening and inspiring, which is the transformation of our business. We have been working for over 5 years with great success, great profitability, and great growth, right? This year, the bridge has grown 400%. Whatever we sold last year in terms of number, it was this number times 4. The number of people that we had in the company, which last year was only about 60, if I'm not wrong, now it's going almost around 250 people. So we have grown incredibly, and also geographically. So our focus now is we're going to continue territory expansion, right? We're not going to stay in Chile, Brazil, Mexico, USA only. That's where we are in terms of offices. We have other offices that we are opening. Beyond that, we are expanding our service line. So we are much more than a recruitment and outsourcing company. We have done training programs, we have done market mapping programs where we mark and we identify the trends in the market so that we can predict the future for our client based on data, based on looking at salaries, movements, and conversations with qualitative data and quantitative data. We are able to actually predict what's coming next. We did also a massive salary survey this year, which was really interesting. I would love to share here the link in the comments, because basically there's really good insights in terms of where things are going, what people are thinking, what are the expectations from their jobs, so that we can empathize with the candidates. It's very important that we put the candidates first in this market. We understand what they need, right? And we put the clients' interests first when it comes to the bridge as well, because we want to make sure that they know where they're going, right? That they know where to look for people, that they know how much they should pay for these people. It doesn't matter what country they are, right? And what is the best way to hire these people? Is it going to be a direct hire, or is it going to be outsourced via the bridge? Because the flexibility that the bridge gives them in terms of hiring someone for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and then internalize, or hire directly, or hire someone in Venezuela, which is a country where had serious political issues. How do you deal with all of that as a company? Well, you don't have to, because the bridge deals with all of that bureaucracy. We deal with the hiring, with the contracts, with the payments. We find the people, and then we manage all of the management of HR, payroll, and contracts, right? This is a massive pain. And you know why startups exist? To solve problems, to solve the pain, right? So we are here to solve this pain. Hire international, hire anywhere. And that's what the bridge is, and that's our future. Our platform is going to enable people to register themselves and find jobs at the global level. And the companies are going to be able to access this data with much more facility. The movement of this data in the platform generates value in many ways. One of them, the salary reports, the insights in terms of where the market is going, and the predictive analytics and the artificial intelligence that enables us to actually understand what is happening, where we're going, where are the opportunities, either for cost saving, to hire someone in a different country, or for the way that you hire the people, what types of contracts you're doing, and how many people you're going to hire when, right? So all of this market intelligence, it's born because the platform is there where the candidates are signing up and the clients operating to hire those people. Everything supported by our expert team, of course. This is not just all robotic. We have a team of over 90 people now at the bridge internally, besides the other 200 and so that are working with our clients outsourced, okay? So we're ready to rumble. Next year, we're gonna focus on data, technology, and people. Data so that we can bring the talents on board and deliver the best talents for our clients. Technology that enables all of this to work, and the people behind it, which brings our human touch and obviously the support and the care that our clients and our outsourced talent needs as well.
And just the last minute to say, because I think this was an amazing way to teach companies on how we can actually partner with them and helping them solve their problems at the moment to land their dream projects. But I think there is something that we missed to mention here, is that every month, let's say we change more than 100 lives of professionals that we connect with better, conditions. So what does it mean for the professionals that are here, that the bridge is growing this way along the opportunities that we're gonna, if at the moment, let's say we change more than 100 lives per month, how is this gonna grow so much when we expand, we achieve new places, we develop this technology? So just one last message for all the people that actually we create the bridges for.
Absolutely, Melissa. Look, the bridge was born remote and it was born global, right? When we opened the office in Chile in 2017, we immediately opened an office in Brazil soon after, and then we started opening new places. And the jobs that we had, they were always in different locations, right? Peru, Argentina, Brazil. There was no pandemic, so we used to put people on a plane. And I hope we're going to continue to do that pretty soon. And that really had an impact. I remember a story of a mother who was very scared in the city of Mexico because she was seeing too much violence. And she decided to move to Panama, and she took her kid to Panama. And we still have that testimonial in our YouTube channel. You definitely should check it out. It's beautiful. And we had other guys that are just enjoying, and they're young, and they're going out to other countries and experiencing, right? That's why the bridge was created, to give opportunities for more people to have international jobs, international work experiences, so that it can change and impact their future and their lives, right? That's what we live for. That's what we breathe for. We are here to build bridges and change futures. But in terms of how do we do it and the impact that this is having, it's absolutely brilliant, because now the internal team of the bridge is also able to go and work in different projects. We have projects in Jamaica, right? If there wasn't for the pandemic, we would have built a whole delivery center in Jamaica, because we have like 20 or 30 people there. So it would be amazing for the air to open soon, and the borders to open, so that we can go back to doing what we used to do before. And I'm sure we will, because it's already starting, right? So the idea is that we can connect companies with these talents. And today it's all borderless. It could be remote, it could be a semi-remote, or it could be in person. But I'm sure that the main thing is they're going to continue to learn. They're going to continue to have amazing experience, and these stay with them forever. Why? You can't forget that. You go to work in a different country. So I'm glad that we get to have the privilege to impact them. But most of all, I'm very grateful to them and to our clients for trusting us to be the concierges of this, because it's a huge responsibility, and we are honored to be able to do this for people.
Amazing, Bernardo. Thank you so much. I think that everybody that works at the bridge actually share this same purpose of connecting people with better opportunities, and also helping companies to bring to life like amazing projects that might impact the world in a positive way. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you everyone for joining us these 3 days of the event. And don't worry that we will share with you the talks also in our YouTube channel for you to access them if you didn't have the chance to attend. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and see you soon.
See you, everyone. It will be recorded on YouTube. You can watch it later.